You are listening to episode 39 of the Underhook Show. As always, my name is Steve, alongside my co-host Chris. Chris, how you doing on this Wednesday evening?
I'm doing good, my friend. Weather's breaking. Getting to be hoodie weather, I think, finally. Uh, just ready to talk wrestling with you again, my friend.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it was very nice these last couple of days, which breaking up the monotony of it being cold as shit in Northwest Indiana. But yeah, we got another edition of AEW Dynamite to get into. This was the go-home show for Grand Slam Australia. It did not feel like a go-home show by any means, but I think we'll have a lot to talk about, especially from a booking point of view. But as we always do before we get into the weekly television, you watching any other wrestling in the last week?
Honestly, this week I have not been. Kiddos were sick, so I was on super dad mode and just chilling.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to too much either. I did cram in Collision before Dynamite went on the air. Nothing too consequential, I would say. If you did go back for anything, it'd be the parking lot fight and the TNT title three-way with Ciampa, Roddy, and Claudio. But I think you could find better versions of both of those things in other places, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I did want to see the triple threat because those are three of my dogs, but
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think you'll like it. It just wasn't anything like spectacular, but definitely. I mean, with those three, you're gonna get what you're gonna get. Uh, yeah. I say if you got some downtime, throw it up on Max, and I think you'll have a good time. Other than that, I've been slowly but surely catching up on 2026 stuff. I think I'm going to take tomorrow and Friday to really just binge watch. One match in particular I got to before the Super Bowl was a match on the Japanese indies from a promotion called H Pro. Was Gajo versus Takahiro Tabata, and I don't really know how to describe this, but I think you would really fuck with this too, because it's like an 8-minute match. The ring ropes are chains, and it takes place in like a bar. And then these two just like punch the shit out of each other and do like shoot headbutts and bleed all over the place.
yeah, ropes is chains. So
Yeah, it's just like two really big dudes just like legitimately hurting each other. So if that's your thing, I think you might like it.
sounds right up my alley.
I will link it after the show. But yeah, I got that in. Super Bowl weekend, I had a lot going on. Didn't get to too much stuff. Watched a bunch of 95 ECW in my downtime, which, again, I said it last week. It's just insanely watchable. And I'm getting to some good stuff. Like
That
Eddie.
that gif you shared of the table and the Sandman.
I
I laughed. I laughed. I laughed.
like that. I did like a spit take with my Gatorade last night when that happened, bro. Because, like, this, we all love the Sandman. We could talk about that, too, because his final opponent was announced. But
Match
before
of
we
the
get to
year.
that, yeah, before we get to that, definitely a Hoot of the Year contender on the table. But yeah, I'm at the point of 95 where the Sandman is just like full on just trying shit, and it is spectacular because he's in this like eternal feud with Cactus, and Cactus is game to do whatever as well. In that same match, our Sandman does a flying nothing into the like front row, and I just don't know what he was thinking. He probably wasn't. He just goes, "I'm just gonna jump into the seats and see what happens," and he just eats shit. It's like, man, the Sandman's the best. His career is winding down, though, WrestleMania weekend. It was announced on Joey Janela's Spring Break annual show. He will be facing the Invisible Man.
That's for us. Let everyone know. That's for us. Then
So it is.
I've
Oh, go
seen
ahead.
also that Hayabusa is gonna go there too. The reincarnated one, I think.
New Hayabusa on the collective.
Yep, and Troy Janela Spring Break.
Yeah, I saw on. I almost said Prestige because it's a very prestige match, but Prestige is about to wind down. West Coast Pro, they're running Mania weekend, and they booked Senka Akatsuki against Danny Luna, which should be fantastic. So that's one to look out for. And also in Mania Week news, Fuminori Abe confirmed for Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. So Mania weekend kind of felt dead last year to an extent. I don't think this year, or excuse me, I think this year though there seems to be some juice into it again. So some exciting announcements to say the least. And you want Mania weekend to be exciting again. You know what I mean?
I'm stoked for George. I've always liked the collective though, at least.
Yeah. Yeah. But Sandman versus Invisible Man, I mean, it's going to be a spectacle to say the least. My question is, Because, Las Vegas, we could talk some betting here. Over under 20 minutes on that entrance.
Over, for sure.
We're getting Enter Sandman played like 3 times.
At least.
Like when Nate Webb. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, like when Nate Webb would go out there and do Teenage Dirtbag a million
Yeah, in the
times.
clusterfuck, yeah.
So you're gonna get it a lot. It's gonna be, I think, if not the entrance, at least the after effect. The after.
Someone's got to keep track, too. He might drink an entire case of beer before and during this match.
I say before,
Yeah.
during,
Yeah.
after.
Let's take some Sandman betting props here in this. This is going to be amazing. Yeah, some cool stuff announced for Mania weekend.
He's drinking now in preparation.
It's like the Mads Mikkelsen movie, One More Round, where they find the perfect level. But no, yeah, the cane swinging, beer swilling, cigarette smoking talisman of ECW finally calling it a career, and I'm sure we'll cover it on the show in 2 months.
He definitely will.
I think it's exactly that weekend's exactly 2 months from now, so coming up quick. That being said, you ready to hop into this week's edition of AEW Dynamite? All right, this is the February 11th edition, coming from Ontario, California, basically Young Bucks' hometown, which was why they obviously had a featured match on here. We got a whole lot to talk about before we get to that, though. So opening the show, we got this Kenny Swerve promo, and we kind of figured last week this is the direction we were headed. I guess the thing I want to ask you is, are you surprised that they're like just firing this off on television?
It was weird. I feel like I don't know why they were trying to pack a lot into this episode going into, it should be a go-home episode, not a pay-per-view feel episode, I guess you would call it. Not even
Kind of
that,
got like
but
one episode, or you kind of got like one eye on one show, one eye on the other. Yeah.
So yeah, it was a little weird that they're just popping this off, but as a wrestling fan, I'm pretty stoked for it. But
Yeah,
where
that's
does
a
that
big.
lead? Yeah, now it just leads for, where does it lead for the pay-per-view now?
I mean, you could always do AEW has done plenty in the last year, especially of you do the first match on TV and then you do the rematch on pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah, true.
I just don't understand, typically that involves some sort of interference.
Well, I feel like it's gonna involve Hangman. It's gonna be like a triple threat maybe or something. Because because I still feel
Right.
like Andrade's riding this high. You know what I'm saying? I still think he might be a Hangman.
Man, that'd be awesome. Just because of how unexpected it would be, because I still think the program that they're like the show is telling us it's Hangman and MJF. I mean, maybe you do Andrade, Kenny, and Swerve, but I feel like I would just rather, personally, for the pay-per-view, I'd rather just have the singles.
Yeah.
Because Andrade's kind of in this weird space right now where, he's getting pushed everywhere. He beat Gabe Kidd in Japan today.
Yeah, I did see the results of that.
Yeah, I didn't watch the show yet either. I'm still a few weeks behind on basically everything in Japan right now. But he beat Gabe Kidd, and he's getting this title shot at the New Japan of America show, to where they basically took the white belt and they made that the touring show championship, to where when they are in the States, that's going to be the title. You know what I mean? So, for example, if Andrade's not in the G1, he'll probably defend that at the G1 show. As long as they're not just doing 10 matches on that card. But a long time till then, I'm just excited for it. But yeah, dude, it is very strange because you have to. I'm not saying you have to be careful with this sort of thing, but you're going to think big picture they are going to be careful with when and who Andrade loses to, which that is insane to think about. I always say about where we were 6 months ago with this whole situation, because it feels like they are strapping the rocket to this guy.
I wonder if this was the plan all along.
Maybe. I mean, he's a real worker, as we can tell.
Yeah. I mean, let's just see how long it lasts.
Yeah, but Kenny Swerve boiled over. We're getting the match next week. All things considered, that is a huge match for AEW, and it feels like they don't have too many of these left. But the interesting thing is, almost all of these involve Kenny Omega because he was away for so long, or in the Elite Vortex in 2023. So it still feels fresh. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. The booking is really weird this whole episode. We're gonna talk about it.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
I just want to know where we're going here.
Yeah, and then we could, after we get through TV, we could run down the card for Sydney and try to connect the dots there too, because I think we're going to see some more changes with their titles. going forward. Getting into our first match of the evening. It's kind of the Teflon match now, man. These Death Riders Don Callis family tags. I really enjoyed this one just as much, if not more, than last week. But it's basically the sized up version from last week. Out goes El Clone and was it Garcia? Yeah, El Clone and Garcia. In comes Claudio and Mark Davis. So you have John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Pac versus Mark Davis, Josh Alexander, and Konosuke Takeshita. And yeah, dude, this I don't know about you, but I thought this was sick.
Mark Davis was in it. I was sold. Uh, but yeah, I was just a pretty solid opener after that crazy brawl that opened the show for no reason. But shout out to Claudio in that fucking luchador mask too.
Yeah,
And
the
they
owls are not what they seem.
and they were jumping around like the Guerreros back there.
Yeah, had to learn from the best.
It just still feels weird to me because like this here they were going over his faces, but later on,
Yeah, they're very much situational in their alignment, depending on the feud. In the vacuum, though, some really good stuff here. I mean, Moxley was selling his ass off for Mark Davis at the beginning, so it seems like they're still like I don't know. We've seen it so many times with AEW to where it's like they give up on someone quick, especially when plans change. Because Tony Khan's never one to really have a plan B. He very much sticks to the original idea. But with his tag team partner out, Mark Davis still has a good showing. Moxley, like I said, was selling for him a whole lot, really putting him over. Like I think Shivani was like on his hyperbole shit and said like he's like the greatest striker on the planet or something. So like, hey, they're at least giving Dunkzilla something.
they're they're trying. I mean, it just that untimely injury to Jake something
Yeah,
kind of derails a little bit here, but
I like what Takeshita was doing in this match though. Like when Moxley went out of the ring, Takeshita was like right on him and really picked up the intensity to heat things up for their match. This is just essentially a glorified Row 2 tag, but I really enjoyed it. I mean, when you got all these people and moving parts, and like I said with last week's Alexander, I think this is a great spot for someone like him. You get good TV wrestling out of it. No bullshit, hard hitting, you know,
you get Singlet Hawk.
singlet Pac. Yeah. I think once again, opening the show, you can't go wrong with this sort of combination. But that leaves us to Moxley and Takeshita on Saturday, which I don't know if they're filming the show that day in Australia and then airing it here because they're on some like 15, 16 hour time swing.
Yeah, it's probably on tape delay.
That being said, yeah, so we go right into the next match.
Yeah, no bullshit here.
Yeah, and this is where the kind of prefaced booking discussion comes into play because Kyle Fletcher and Tommaso Ciampa wrestle for the TNT title. They make a big deal out of Ciampa being the first person to win a title on their first night in the company. And then his reign lasts a total like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Good match. A lot of not the best. Like a lot of false finishes.
Yeah, I think that's what held it back for me a little bit.
And I was like, okay, but yeah, I didn't understand the ending. I mean, why do all of this just to put the belt back on Fletch? Why not just have Briscoe hold the belt until Grand Slam, and then you can have the bigger moment.
Yeah, we could talk about that. I do want to just say though, like the work on the neck from Fletcher to Ciampa, especially when you're getting like the overhead throw on the outside, or Ciampa answering with that fucked up air raid crash on the steps.
The brainbuster reversal into a German suplex.
They're doing all kind of shit, and it was a lot of fun. I'll say that. Like I think Ciampa's fit in nicely, all things considered, and it's one of those things where we've seen it a bunch, where somebody comes to AEW who just has been kind of languishing in the Fed for years, and I think that's why a lot of people were maybe rolling their eyes at the move. But it's like, when someone's not doing anything, it's hard to tell what they can actually contribute, and that's why I try to keep an open mind with those kind of things. It was like when, for example, like when Cedric Alexander's deal was up, people were very against him going to AEW, which he didn't in the end. But you and I are sitting here like, oh shit, Cedric's going to DPW and his matches there were good. And I think this is a similar situation.
Perspective, you know?
Yeah, it's like not everyone's gonna have that stank on them but when it's like they weren't even being used, you know what I mean? How could you develop bad habits? You're not even, you know what I mean? It's just, yeah. I agree with you with the near falls, maybe a little too long. But I mean, overall, the core of the match, I had fun with it. The whole thing was just very confusing though when you do this switch. Not saying that every TNT title match has or every TNT title reign has to be couple 100 days or whatever. But the promise of Mark Briscoe being a television champion, that gave us a lot of awesome collision matches. And to just do Briscoe Fletcher again is very strange. You asked the question, why not just have Briscoe keep the belt? Well, now I'm thinking, like, is he just gonna win it back?
Not in Australia. He's not.
And I feel like Fletcher kind of has to win the series. So what are we doing here?
I don't know what this is setting up for. Uh, this ain't it. For me, I would have much rather just had Briscoe hold the belt until Australia, if this is the case, and then get the bigger moment for Fletch at home. Because you want him to have that moment. The moment would be better if he's winning the belt at home, like capturing the belt there. Oh,
one more question. Are we doing Okada, Takeshita, and Fletcher where they all have belts?
Do you think Takeshita beat Moxton?
Yeah, because that seems like something Tony Khan would do.
I don't know, man. I think Okada's going to cost
he's going to cost somebody, right? But there's no there's no interference in Continental match.
Yeah, I mean, now you say that. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them.
This whole mid card title belt thing. Well, I mean, I know, like, I say that, I mean, these guys are obviously, like, that's not disparaging them, but your singles belt's under the world title. This landscape is so strange right now. But
for matches, it's good. It's putting out good matches, but for booking
purposes,
it's not making any sense.
Right. Which I tend not to go that way because I know it's easy to say about AEW, but there have just been these very split decisions, like these last minute things where you're throwing a wrench into everything, and it just feels odd. It doesn't mean necessarily bad. Like, I think Briscoe Fletcher, I mean, it's a great pairing. It's just we had 5 of these last year, and I believe 4 of them were on pay-per-view.
You're not going to top that last one you guys had, like where Briscoe captured it. I feel like that was it. That should have been it right there.
Excuse me, you had 4 of these last year. 3 of them were on pay-per-view because one of them was Continental Classic. But it feels, that was late 2024. That's just a lot of proximity with these two. And AEW is not known for burning out the matchup like this. I mean, well, we'll get to one of those in a little bit. But, yeah, I think just people want something different. I do think, however, this match should be fun. And, I mean, Briscoe's in a ladder war that doesn't involve Chris Jericho. Like, we should be good.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be good. But, like,
just odd, yeah. Very odd. Very strange decisions here. Because then, where does this leave Ciampa out of this and everything else? That being said, we get a couple of vignettes here. First, promoting the women's tag team title match. I think we could preview that a little later when we go through the rest of the card. And then, essentially, how the hell we got Clark Connors working with the Death Riders, which he apparently hired Danny for the next match. But I think this whole match and post-match answers a question we had last week pertaining to Darby Allin.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Yes.
And as soon as I seen it, I said, this one makes sense now.
Yep. So, some context for you from Collision. Roddy was cutting a promo before the main event, which was the triple threat. Mark Briscoe came in there. It's all kind of like, I could see it because
I've seen the clip of this somewhere. But go on.
Yeah, Mark Briscoe's just wishing him well, and he was just like, "Yo, he just goes, I just want the first shot, like once you win," which I guess that would make sense of why he inserted himself back into the title picture after Fletcher's victory. But the main takeaway is that he goes, "My fellow conglomerator," and Rod Dogg goes, "I'm not in the conglomeration." And I actually think backstage he just had like a solid black t-shirt on and he walked out to the end of Heartache. So seeds are planted for a turn. Enter this match. We get it. You know what I mean? It was a softer heel turn, but I think it was a heel turn.
You know what would make this heel turn even better?
Misery signals.
The lady.
Just keep booking Roddy in Arena Mexico. But that being said,
We'll say. I don't know much about Clark Connors because I'm not that big of a New Japan connoisseur. I know of him, you know.
mm-hmm.
When he came out, I said, "Yo, we already have Hangman." And then I
My
said, "Oh
brother
wait."
said he just looked like Proxy Jericho.
I said, "No." Then I said, "Oh wait, he looks like Proxy Matthew McConaughey."
All right.
But I like Clark Connors. So it's just me talking shit. So
Yeah, so Daniel Garcia and 100 Proof Clark Connors, which
hard name by the way.
yeah, they all like kind of rebranded when the War Dogs formed, because that was like all like Shibata's graduates turned heel and formed a
Clark,
faction.
I heard the name when he was like a young boy. I think I had Blade tell me about him before or something like that.
Well, I think before that he was like Wild Rhino or something, because he was in that four-way match on the first Forbidden Door. He took Ishii's spot out of it for injury.
Yeah, I remember because my buddy that I went to at the time was big into like New Japan and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So he told me about Clark Connors. Actually, told me about Will Ospreay too. But not a bad match though.
No, and he's one of those cases. I think he'll. I don't know if he has like the ceiling of someone like Kevin Knight, but long story short, New Japan's junior division not great, and he was kind of stuck in it. So in AEW, where there's no weight class system, you can do more with him. I think it's only a matter of time. But that being said, if you want to call this a kind of tryout, thought he did pretty well, and it was him and Garcia against Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong. Roddy walking out to Pixies with OC, so no kill switch or misery signals for that matter. So for those keeping score,
for those the shape it's in.
Yeah, for those keeping score at home, he did walk out to the end of Heartache on Collision. That being said, though, I mean, I thought this was good.
Good TV match.
Yeah, I like the Garcia Roddy pairing a lot. I feel like that should have been a series when he was TNT champion, but less said about that reign.
There's a lot of stuff that should have been.
Yeah, less said about that reign, the better. But they gave OC a lot, especially with the hands in pockets, which I got a good laugh out of it. I love how they milked the hot tag with the hands in his pockets and all that. But the big takeaway from this match is that it was one of those classic Roddy just jumps off the apron going, I'm done with this, I'm out of here. And then the whole match kind of broke down into a brawl. But OC did get away with the win, though.
As it would. There was some spots that seemed kind of slow, but it wasn't too bad. It is all just set up the after effect.
Yeah, which the breakdown led to a segment for the hair versus hair tag team match. So it feels like you're trying to kill two birds with one stone. Before we get into that, what we were saying last week, okay, Gabe Kidd as a tag team partner, Darby's not really associated with anyone. What are we doing with this? I think when you look at what everybody else in the conglomeration is doing, really it's nobody's there right now because Roddy was never officially in it. Now he's turning heel. Kyle O'Reilly's injured, and Ishii is in Japan. So that leaves Orange Cassidy with not much to do after this, because it seems like the Tony Storm thing's going to be one and done. Yeah, so I think that's probably going to be like the Revolution party match, right?
Right. I seen Darby come out and take Clark Connors during I said, oh, well, that answered me and Steve's question right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at first I was like, who else could it have been? Like, Jay White made no sense, so it wouldn't have been him. But,
yeah, well, you freed up a babyface who can get down and dirty in these type of matches.
And to rewind, Mark Briscoe coming out to challenge Kyle Fletcher also threw a wrench in our other guests.
Yeah, that was the other guy in the conglomeration. Mark Briscoe has a match, so now granted they're all overlapping with this whole. I mean, they might even throw this on the Australia show. Who's to say? Because I don't think they're doing Collision this week, right? Because that's taking that spot.
I believe so.
Yeah, but I mean, AEW will announce it day of. It's nothing new. Actually, check.
But Clark Connors and Daniel Garcia versus Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin. But no, But no. Where are we going with This is the part that I didn't understand with like, are they heels or face? I know they're in betweens, but the first match, their Death Riders were over, and then this match, I guess it's like situational face, maybe, or heel face.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Maybe it'll be one of those things where if Yuta actually gets his head shaved, then they're like reset the factory settings.
I don't know, man. I still think that Mox dying is gonna happen eventually.
I
Like
mean,
they're just trying to lower us into a false sense of security.
maybe if he loses the belt, that'll do it.
That's I think that's gonna be the turning point, regardless of like when they do it, is him losing that belt. But
I
maybe they
think they're
are
gonna need. I think they're gonna need more time to heat that back up because
that
like
he's
they had their window and they decided against it. Got to do some housekeeping there. I think we'll have a better idea of where the Death Riders stand after Saturday, between the hair versus hair and whether Moxley's champion or not. But those are good questions to be asking right now because it's not something that I personally mind, but it is going to have to shake out one way or the other. I agree with you on that.
has to do something, man.
Yeah, I got you. Some Andrade pre-tapes because he, like we said earlier, he defeated Gabe Kidd in Japan today and is challenging Yota Tsuji in Boston. But again, though, like Hangman said, one of the best wrestlers in the world, but he wanted the match with Kenny Omega, which that was an interesting comment, I thought. I don't think we're done. Like, I think you're going to see a lot of Kenny and Hangman on screen over the next couple of months. They have like an outdoor venue to sell for Double or Nothing, by the way. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see that.
They're doing a tennis.
Oh,
It's not Arthur Ashe. It's not Arthur Ashe. It's in Brooklyn.
yeah, I did. I didn't know it was an outdoor venue though.
I believe it is. Let me see. I have the pictures.
I always like outdoor venues, so I'm cool.
Louis Armstrong Stadium in Queens. Excuse me, Queens is not Brooklyn. I mean, I
Where,
gotta brush up on my New York geography here. So
yeah,
pardon me.
I don't know my boroughs. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Queens is where the Mets play. I know that. Louis Armstrong Stadium. It looks like it has at least a retractable roof, but I'm pretty sure this is outdoors.
The only thing I know about Queens is Kevin James was the king of it.
True, very true. 14,000 capacity for tennis, so they might be able to do 20K in there.
It's gonna have a good look. That's gonna have a good look too, I bet.
Yeah. So, hey man, hope it does well. Double or Nothing. I mean, they usually stack the deck, no pun intended. But I mean, you're gonna have to have some big stuff for that, especially if Kenny ends up winning the belt in Canada. But I still think it's Maxwell's belt for a while.
Yeah, I don't think Max is giving up that belt.
But I'm not ruling, like I said, I'm not outruling one more tag run or at least a one-off tag match with Kenny and Hangman. So I think their paths it will cross after the MJF program. We got some time before that. Backstage, did we talk about the name of the Trios champs right now?
I don't think we actually told the actual name. We just said the name that they said on the internet.
I think Jet Set Rodeo is badass.
Oh, I love that. I mean, horse.
I think that's a sick name. I think it's a sick name, Jet Set Rodeo.
It's like I was like, horse cock. I don't know.
You could tell, I mean, not that they ever did too much with the Trios belts to begin with, but you could tell that they definitely got their hands forced now because it was like as soon as they put them belts on there, Hangman's back in the title picture. But I think them as a trio could be a lot of fun. Do they have anybody? I mean, Hook has to rebuild the ops, which at that point I'd probably just leave it, but I don't know.
So Joe Hurt just taking a break.
They said a non-contact injury, so I don't know if he messed something up while training.
Is he doing promo for Twisted Metal or something?
I don't know if I don't think he's on another media tour, no. Because that was my first thought, because he's doing all kind of voice acting stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Hook they should just let that die with Hobbs being gone or Royce Keys, whatever. Like, shout out to Royce Keys, by the way.
Has he? I don't think he's been on TV yet. I don't watch anything from Raw this week. I'll be real.
I haven't seen him like anything pop up, so I wonder if he's gonna be on SmackDown.
Maybe they got 3 hours to fill again. They're gonna need people.
That's why I do not watch that because I cannot sit through. Sometimes I have a hard time sitting through 2 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours of 3 hours of a TV show is too much. Let alone 3 hours of a TV show booked by Road Dogg. I'm good personally, and also as we talked about last week, the Punk and Roman basically are using this Mania program to shit on SmackDown. So, I saw not to derail this, but I did see the Roman schedule for the road to WrestleMania. he will not be on TV till March 3rd. So he's not going to be full time for this build.
He's part time, and he's probably still going to win the belt.
Yeah. Anyways,
at least our guy's getting his main event.
Yeah, like a proper one. I still think it'll be cool, and I think based off that first promo, I think those will actually be worth checking out.
And hey, at least we're getting Balor and Punk again out of it. So I mean, I wish tickets weren't too.
I heard the first match was good. I gotta go back and watch it still.
Yeah, I just wish tickets weren't $1 bajillion because I would definitely like to go see that.
Yeah, Miller and I are talking about that because it's coming up quick. But it's like, do I really want to pay $500 for something that could be really bad? Probably not.
Yeah, I can't justify it really.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they gotta. I think them finally booking the United Center again is cool. Just because, like, I think they'll do it real big. And I just, I like going to the United Center in general. And it's a lot closer than, all the other venues. But I don't know. I'm not at the point yet where I'm ready to just, like, give them my money in any capacity. So.
That's me. That's like a super target.
Yeah. I mean, we've made that clear. And it's just like, why pay a ton of money to watch something that could potentially be terrible? That being said, top of the hour, we got a nice little surprise that I don't really know what to think now, but in the moment, pretty awesome. Private Party and the Young Bucks in a triple threat tag team match. Winner goes to Revolution. And we were just kind of on, bells and alarms going off thinking it was going to be Edge and Christian. But oh my God, it was Private Party.
Oh my God, is that fucking Private Party? It was.
It sure was. It sure was.
I texted you. I said, "Sir, if this is going to be Private Party, I'm going to lose my mind." I did. I was happy.
Yeah, it's just good to see them again. Although it does beg the question of like, because we talked about how they signed like a bunch of guys to do the same thing. It's like I feel like Private Party also does a similar thing, but for this type of match, I think it served its purpose. I don't mean to sound like a broken record. I just thought this went way too long.
Yeah, that was my only issue. The timing of this episode was an issue I had.
Yeah,
but the pacing was
also strange to where you had a new team. Like when I say new, I mean new to the company. Wrestling with someone who hasn't wrestled in a long time, because I could tell in some spots that there was some rust to be shaken off at Private Party, and the Rascals are still getting used to that ring. But I mean, this was your Reseda match of the night, which, I mean, given that this was the Young Bucks hometown match, I guess that's fitting.
Yeah, it didn't need to be fitting. The ending didn't need to be fitting. But I guess we kind of knew it was gonna always be that. But hey, I'm happy to see the Dogs back, and I'm happy to see the Rascals.
Yeah, I've been wanting to see more of Myron Reed. He's the one I'm like the least familiar with.
What's crazy for me, like I'll tell this real quick, it's when I got into local wrestling out here. I used to go to AEW. Myron Reed and Dez were all like rookies there, so I seen them like blow up, and they were like opening like their curtain jerkers more or less. And I don't like using that term, but they were that, at these events, and then now look at them, man. That's just crazy. And it's the same thing with like MJF. Like,
oh yeah, he worked BLP all the time.
You see these guys like in our own backyard, now they're on like national TV. It's awesome. It's a good feeling to see.
Yeah, so Desmond Xavier, that was his indie name, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got Hot Fire, Myron Reed, Desmond Xavier, exactly.
Yeah, I was introduced to him during his Wesley run with MSK. Yeah. Part of me coming back to wrestling during the pandemic. But that being said, like, I mean, you kind of know what you're going to get out of this sort of thing. I just think it went a little bit too long. Young Bucks pick up the win. And I was like, all right, whatever, hometown. But then it dawned on me. I'm like, fuck, we're doing Young Bucks FTR again. The dynamic is shifted, though, because I feel like this is the first time FTR are heels in this matchup. I mean, since their first match 6 years ago? 5 years ago?
That's crazy to think about.
It's going to be 6 years. It's like five, and it's going to be 6 years in November.
When they pulled up in a little Ford truck.
Yeah, it's 2020. So it is wild to think that they've been, like, or year 6 into, like, this kind of AEW being established. And I know it's year 7, but, with all these people, all the cross traffic of people leaving and coming and going, all that stuff. But year 6 of this particular feud, on and off. I mean, it's not like it's a bad pairing. I just think we've gotten it too. I don't think this is something we need once or twice a year.
Or no, I don't. Similar with Fletch and Briscoe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see this again.
Oversaturation is the term I think we should use for it. That oversaturated the matchup. I would ask though, do you think they stepped this one up too?
No.
Just straight up?
Yeah, straight up wrestling match.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, like, you don't really need to step it up. You know what you're going to get with these two. Or
Yeah.
with these four. I mean, you know what you're in for. You're going to get a good match. Like, it's going to be a normal FTR Young Bucks match.
The only one I thought that was outright bad was when they did the triple threat with the Acclaimed. Because that was just the most unnecessary, like, thing.
That was the one with the Acclaimers in it just to take the pinfall.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So, yeah, no. Like, their singles stuff, like, their solo tag matches are good. I don't know. I don't want to see it. It's all just set up for the inevitable. You think you know him. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, and I think that the path here is FTR retain, probably by cheating. I think Stoke gets out of the wheelchair, personally.
Yeah, he's probably going to get out there.
Yeah, he's going to Linda McMahon this one. That's not the name probably should be thrown around, but...
Yeah, it's fine.
You know the reference.
We get it.
Yeah, we're doing WrestleMania 17 style, but...
Just one.
I think Stokes getting out of the wheelchair to cost him the match, and then you get the You Think You Know Me stinger, and then they're doing FTR, Edge and Christian in Canada again, and they're probably going to win, and they'll do the Bucks match at Wembley. What I want to know is if they're going to do a TLC in Wembley, but I think we'll have plenty of time to speculate. That being said, I've said that being said a lot tonight. Damn,
they're for sure doing a TLC in Wembley. Now that I think about it,
that might be sick. I'll be real. That might be fun.
Hard. Just don't die.
I mean, I feel like Edge in this run the best is when he's doing all like a lot of the wild bullshit, like the World's End match
when he did the jump off the cage.
Maybe not that. Maybe nothing with Malachi Black and Edge, but
my man said, "I got it."
When they did the World's End brawl was a lot of fun. They put Nick Wayne through the flaming table.
I mean, the payoffs. Sorry. Were Christian and Edge hurt? Is that what's taking them so long? What are we doing here?
No idea.
Okay, because I was like...
Legitimately no idea.
I was like, was there a report that they were hurt? Because...
It was like the Dynamite after All Out. And he was just like, I can't do this anymore. I gotta go home. And then when one disappeared, the other did. I gotta go. Maybe they got written off and we just missed it.
No, that was the last time that... Well, that was the last time that I seen Edge was that part. And then, yeah, no.
Very strange. Very strange indeed.
Because I remember that was the rumor that Edge was leaving to go do John Cena's tour, his farewell tour. He's going to be... Remember, that was the big rumor that he was going to be one of the people on the tour.
Tournament? Yeah, none of that happened.
I think we all knew that wasn't going to happen.
Before we get into the main event, though, we did get another Will Ospreay vignette, so I really think it's sooner than we would expect.
Hope is coming back.
2 weeks in a row, that's got to be something there.
My favorite wrestler currently, I should say, is coming back. He's not my GOAT. Yeah, I'm just happy to see that he's healthy because that neck surgery is always terrifying when you're an athlete.
Yeah, and remains to be seen if he's going to adjust his style at all. I don't think he will, personally, because, I mean, like, everybody made that same kind of remark when he went heavyweight. And he still found a way. I mean, obviously, he's not doing, like, he wasn't doing the shit where he messed up his neck the first time, like the inverted V's and all that stuff. But, like, he doesn't need to.
I'm just happy, man. I just can't wait to see him back.
Yeah, I think I enjoy Ospreay as a TV wrestler more than anything. So I'm looking forward to him coming back and getting back in the mix. I just thought for sure he wouldn't be back until the Owen. But, I mean, now when you really think about it, if you're doing the Owen finals Double or Nothing, that would probably be late March, early April. So maybe the vignettes are lined up in time. If you're starting the Owen after Revolution, Revolution is a month from Sunday. So yeah, maybe it is all lining up properly. But the next segment, though, is something I did want to talk about because I thought this was very strange that they did not follow up with the ending of last week's show.
Yeah, it was, well, I guess they were all already in Australia.
Doing press, yeah. That makes sense.
Because
this didn't feel like a Skeleton Crew show, though.
I was just wondering because I was like, you're in you're in Brody King's backyard, I think. Or would that be next week? No, it would be just yeah.
This is like really close to him. He's from Van
Yeah.
Nuys.
And then I'm like, so you don't have him on here at all, but I was like, oh, they're probably already over in the seas. Or yeah, they're probably already in Australia. So I'm like, that sucked. But yeah, and then they gave you the real what was it like a 2 minute promo package?
Yeah, it was just the hype package for the match, and then they taped something after Dynamite that aired on Collision. But I'm like, you could have even taped the promo on Collision or like an in-ring segment on Collision. But no, I'm in two schools of thought here. Part of me feels like, okay, maybe the squash was that good to where you could just like let that be it. Don't do too much. Don't tarnish going off on such a high like that. Because that was such a great ending to the last week. And now I'm almost thinking like, damn, like you didn't follow this up at all. And this is, I mean, if MJF's not closing the show, he's going to be opening it, right?
Yeah.
World title has been going on last pretty
TNT
consistently.
TNT I think is going to be your main event.
That I could see, because I mean, if it is on the Saturday's time slot, it will be also airing on TNT. But yeah, I don't know. I think you could get away with either, but it just felt strange that Go Home, Dynamite, neither of them were there. Especially as you pointed out, like this was damn near hometown for Brody King as well. But then we get into our main event. Tekla challenging Chris Statlander in a strap match for the World Championship. I kind of figured they were going to pull the trigger here, but I'm still not happy about it.
We spoke it into existence, bro. This was our fault.
Yeah, gotta be careful. Play with the universe, and the universe will play with you.
I will say, Josh did call it because he was
Mm-hmm.
here because he goes, I think she's winning tonight. And I was like, I don't think so, man. It's just weird timing because they already did the title switch with Fletch. I don't think they're going to do a title switch with another one. Why would they do two in one show? That's weird.
I'm going to preface my thoughts on this by just saying clearly they see a lot in Tekla, and also Tekla has taken to American TV very well, I would say. I think this fits her a lot more than what she was doing in Stardom. It's nothing against her, really. I don't think she was bad in the match by any means.
It was just paced weird.
But I just don't understand why they can't seem to book Chris Statlander correctly, man. Like, what is so hard about this? Because everybody coming into the feud, everyone's like, oh, Tekla's got to take the belt. They ain't doing nothing with the stat run. Well, why are you not doing anything with this Chris Statlander title run? Like, this run, I feel like you had to get this right, and they didn't.
It's because they did the same thing they did with Toni Storm and Monet. And at the minute she got a belt, lumped them with the other two women that have belts. So then we're just that was what most of her title run was her with Willow and Harley, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna pull this up. I want to look at all her defenses.
Because
The match, though,
you had the Monet defense. You had she wrestled, but I mean, like, I know you beat Monet.
100 reign. She had successful defenses. Mina on TV, Toni Storm in St. Louis, Mercedes in New Jersey, Jamie Hayter in Chicago area, Tekla on TV, and then she lost Tekla now. I don't know. It just seemed like they would put her, okay, like Toni, Mercedes, Jamie Hayter as pay-per-view defenses. All of those make sense. It just didn't feel like they heated any of those feuds up to where they should have been. And I don't think that's on Chris Statlander. I think that's on them having available heels and, applying them.
Yeah, but I just hope now that you did this, I hope you don't do the same with Tekla. But
It's easier. I think it's easier to book heel champions, though.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's easier to book heels than it is to face. This match was paced really weird for me. Like, I don't know, it wasn't bad, but I honestly didn't care too much for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really care for the ending. Just felt like rushed and botched
Finish
to me.
did feel weird because it's like she successfully fought off the interference. It bought Tekla some time. Tying her hands up, I think that they did a close up when it didn't look like her hands were tied up. Got the job done, though. Like, the stomp with no protection did look gross. To me, the pacing of this match fell off because, for us watching on TV, they went to picture-in-picture right when Tekla started working that wound. And I thought that took some wind out of my sails because I was like, damn, like, They had the sick cut on Stat, like, and it kept flowing the whole match. I liked a lot of the work in the match, like a lot of the stuff they were doing, like appealed to me. Just maybe fell flat. So it was like, okay, I figured there were going to be run-ins. It didn't feel like they mattered all that much, and then Tekla still went over.
Yeah.
So that felt strange to me, and I was just like, oh god. As soon as I saw him run, I'm like, oh god, Stat's losing. And we know what this is. I'm like, we don't take wins and losses personally. Like, when there's a character we're invested in, obviously you want, like, we can celebrate the win. Like how with Mark Briscoe winning the TNT title, like that was like a genuine feel good moment. But I had like this kind of just bad feeling to where I'm like, I know how good Chris Statlander is. Why are you like, how do you not get this right? It's very strange to me, man.
Well, the same thing with, we knew how good Daniel Garcia was. They couldn't
Mm-hmm.
get, they didn't get that right. They knew how good. I mean, Briscoe had a decent run, I guess. We kind of knew Briscoe was going to be like a transition, more of a transitional anyway. But
You see, with him, it was more of like, I really liked what they were doing. He's the perfect guy to just roll out every Saturday and have like a good match. And I loved a lot of the matches he was having. I just thought that it felt a little soon, but then I'm like, okay, they're hot shotting Ciampa, and then now he's not champion anymore. So that's just more of, I got to see the big picture there. I still feel like, because we can get into Saturday, I still feel like there's going to be some sort of blow up in Don Callis' family. I didn't mention this during, but earlier in the night, dude, Lance Archer's fit tonight.
or a god,
Dude, he looked insane. He looked fucked up.
he was. They went to the finest strip club in California.
I gotta start walking around with the 5X t-shirt on and white shoes.
Yeah, dog. We're gonna bring it. We're gonna bring it out here.
Different swag, dude. Lance
I
Archer fit watch, man. Every week in, week out, he's got some kind of different swag going on.
I said, my man just said, "Fuck it,
You push him.
please."
Put the TNT title on him. Again, I think he won it once. But maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of the IWGP US belt. But yeah, I forgot to point out that Lance Archer with the swag once again. But Dynamite ended with kind of a weird run-in. Like, it felt like this was like a middle of the show run-in.
Yeah, that's what I said. It felt really weird.
Yeah, the Battling Birds.
Horrible name.
Bird is shorthand for like chick in the UK. The
Okay.
brawling birds. Excuse me, not battling birds. Brawling birds. Yeah, bird is like, oh, where's your bird at? You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Or your bird's fit. Like they say shit like that.
I don't know, it's just a weird name. I got used to it.
Yeah, they're hammering home the UK slang there. But Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor make the save. Wonder if we'll have. I mean, I feel like those six in like a party match would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, they'll probably be added to the show, right?
Yeah, but then it's also like, well, the women's world title is stuck in
Purgatory.
these kind of matches again. Yeah.
And you're just going backwards. Backwards. I don't know.
Sure.
Every time they take like 3 steps up, that feels like they still take like 4 steps back.
Sure, but do you have anybody ready to challenge Tekla right now? They got some work to do on that side of the book, man.
Because I feel like, well, we'll get to it when we talk about the lineup for Grand Slam, but I feel like they're going to be losing them tag belts.
Yes, yeah, no, I agree. Let me find it. We can talk about it.
Because like it's time, like we talked about last week. The original plan, I think, has always been Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne.
Yeah, we can start there. Babes of Wrath defending against Mega Bad after they successfully won the Eliminator match. I'm with you 110%. I think they just win. I think Babes of Wrath are like loosely associated, and I think then Willow has to have a reign because I think she has like one defense, if that.
Yeah, you need to get her away from that so we can focus on her doing her thing.
Yeah, she has one successful defense against Julia Hart. I did not watch that match.
Until Monet comes back and then back to that belt. I think she's got to go for the women's belt.
Yeah, I think, well, that's the one she can't win. So I think that's definitely where Monet is going to be.
It would have made more sense to have her beat. Never mind. Can't talk about it now.
Yep.
Because she can't beat Stat and she can't win the belt. It makes more sense if she beats Stat and she wins the belt. Give us the book. We got y'all. I promise. I'm not going to let you fail.
Maybe if I keep my Super Bowl hot streak up, we could buy some steak. But I don't know. Tony Khan said he's the only one who wants to be running that book right now. But we just want a little bit more balance. That's all we ask for. We can go from the top though. Outside of that women's world title match, we both got mega bad getting those belts. I mean that's who we had in mind the whole time. I think that's who the company had in mind as well.
Absolutely. It's Megan Bane's time to get something.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Penelope can work for that matter too.
I think as a TV act, they're really good at what they do, and I think that they're going to be rewarded for that. But that being said, I'll go from the top here. Jon Moxley defending that Continental title against Konosuke Takeshita. Arguably the hardest match on this card to call, because I feel like if Tony Khan has the opportunity to run that Okada, Fletcher, Takeshita three-way where they all have belts, he's going to. And then you could unify it again.
Yeah, and then he can cut a horrible promo about why they're unified. Man, I got Mox, man. I'm taking Mox. Mox is Mox.
I can't bet against them yet, but I'm also like, I won't be shocked if they do the switch. But yeah, I'll go with Jon Moxley again. This is another matchup they've done quite a bit, but they've all been good, so I'm just gonna kind of let it ride. You know what I mean?
Because like, if they don't do the turn, they're not. I don't feel like they're gonna do the turn, but
Not on this show, no.
Yeah, no. But I feel like if they don't, if they gotta like build it up, I think what happens maybe is that like it's gonna end up to be Claudio challenging Mox for that belt and beating Mox, and then that's when, kind of like how they did D-Rod.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I just don't think they're gonna do anything that massive on a tape show. I think your surprises are gonna come elsewhere.
It's gonna be live. That's
Yeah, of course. Now we go to that mixed tornado tag team match, which seeing that it's tornado, that makes me way more excited because those are always a blast. Especially when you got wrestlers like Toni Storm, who is willing to do anything. Watch her be the person to bleed on this show.
First one.
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy. If Mox is the first match.
Right. Orange Cassidy and Toni Storm taking on Marina Shafir and Wheeler Yuta. Loser, like whoever loses the fall gets their head shaved, so it's not a team thing. I guess we could just get our final picks in here because I know we've talked about it over and over again. This is like the most logical thing would be for Yuta, but I think the wild cards here would be the two women because I feel like Marina and Toni Storm would be game for that.
Yeah, after tonight, I don't, with them cutting, well, with Yuta cutting her name now, Shirakawa's.
Yeah. Yeah, Mina's probably gonna go back to the bob, but like she rocks the bob, so
I wouldn't. Like I said, I still wouldn't put it past her.
Chris, who you got?
I got OC and Tony, and Yuta's getting his head shaved.
The chalk pick. Not that I disagree with it. I just am not sure. And fuck it, Yuta's getting his head shaved. I don't know. I think
I'm doing it and then hoping would be shocked.
Yeah, I like I said, I think like Ball of the Marina would be scary, and like it fits her vibe. Toni Storm, I think you could do one of two things. I think she would just rock it with like more confidence than anybody and make it work, or she would bust out the wig game to go with the whole Hollywood thing.
That's what I have a buddy at work, some fan who was talking. He's like, I think Tony's gonna be the one to shave her head because she can wear the wigs and kind of like play like that crazy, like deranged character now that she got her head shaved or something.
Mm-hmm.
I said, yeah, I'd like to see that too. There's endless possibilities.
Yeah, we'll go with the logical pick. We'll go with the chalk pick. Go with Yuta. Hangman Adam Page taking on Andrade El Idolo. Winner faces MJF at Revolution. All signs are pointing to Hangman. I'm sticking with Hangman as much as I think it would be awesome to see Andrade get a world title shot this soon into his second tenure, because this feels like they're using Andrade how they always should have been, and he's obviously on this incredible run. I'm still going with Hangman.
Yeah, I got Hangman. Just because I feel like them setting up the 1 week where Hangman was the last person that MJF talked to before getting into his car and speeding off, just foreshadowing.
Yeah, he was the reason why Brody squashed MJF to begin with the distraction. All signs are pointing to this match. It's kind of a foregone conclusion. Although, if there would be a pleasant surprise, I think it would be Andrade getting the upset. This match should be fun as hell, though. I think this will be awesome.
It's gonna be a good match. Like Andrade's on another level currently. So
Oh yeah, he's on an absolute tear at the moment, and need a big Hangman singles match to kind of get him back on track too. Not that he hasn't been doing good work on TV, but one of those signature, you know what I mean, barn burners.
yeah, it's gonna
And
this whole
Andrade's
card,
been having a lot of those.
this whole card is pretty good.
Yeah, that's the thing with AEW is we get to this point and then we're like, okay, we're like, yeah, this match will be good, but then it's like when the actual show's on, I'm like, oh yeah, we probably should have a good time with all of these. There's one match missing from the cage match listing, but we'll just tack that on at the end. MJF defending against Brody King. I mean, like we said, MJF Hangman is the match. I'm more concerned though. I just want Brody King to look strong in defeat.
Yeah, I don't want it to be like a bullshit victory. I want it to be a good match. And I feel like it's gonna be because you got the Kenny Omega praise in the beginning of the show, so you're on cloud nine, boss.
Yeah. And the one that wasn't listed here, Mark Briscoe challenging the new TNT champion Kyle Fletcher. I just don't see them hot potatoing the belt back to Mark Briscoe with what is supposed to be their final match of this series. I mean, I think Kyle Fletcher wins. I just don't know what the hell he's doing with the TNT title again, other than the whole they're gonna book the Mega Powers Explode match. They got all 3 belts.
I got Fletcher this one because I just don't want to see this. It's gonna be a good match. Don't get me wrong, but like we said, I'm just very convoluted way to get to this spot.
Extremely convoluted. I would agree.
And
that would be. Do we have anything else?
I don't think they announced anything else. I mean, I'm pretty sure they might announce maybe like another match, maybe like a tag match or something.
I'll check socials. I'm not seeing anything at the moment.
Yeah, this might be the final, bearing anything on the internet. But
no, they're just promoting Kenny Swerve next week.
Live TV. That's crazy.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. I'm honestly looking forward to Saturday. I just, like I said, a lot of the booking decisions tonight were just weird and kind of, maybe throwing curveballs at the wrong time. But all things considered, Saturday should be fun. And
it's always a good time with some Saturday wrestling, man.
Yes, we could probably do a double dip next week, right?
Yes, sir.
Go through Saturday's card, which is like a 2.5 hour block, so
we'll breeze through.
It's like a deluxe TV, not quite a pay-per-view.
Yeah, just as a couple. We'll fill it in as we go, like how we always do.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good episode next week.
Yeah, so plan on next week. We'll review the Saturday show and the Wednesday TV live from Sacramento, California, and that's about it from us. Chris, you got anything to plug on our way out?
I have nothing at all this week, my friend.
I still couldn't find a website for the Help Stokely Fund, so yeah, I got nothing at the moment. I mean, other than we got like 3 weeks to get a Violent People ballot in, if you're into that sort of thing.
Got the Daddies coming up soon.
That too. So other good wrestling media out there that we're excited for. I'll post my top 100 when I have it done. I'm just struggling because it's like I didn't get to everything I wanted to, and it's just hard. Like, I don't know, last year was strange with there's a lot of cases where it's like, well, they would have been higher if they weren't hurt, and this, you know what I mean, like those kind of things. So I'm working on that, but other than that, yeah, it's still just doing the same old, and when I have stuff out, I will promote it on here. Well, that being said, Chris, always a pleasure talking our great sport with you on a weekly basis, and I'm glad that we're just back to the regular, man. It feels really good.
Ranger rolling, bud. I can't wait to see where we go from here.
Absolutely. And that begins next week. In the meantime, you can find us on the socials at Outer Style and at The Loser Weight. Thank you for listening if you got this far, and we'll talk to you again next week.
See ya.